Since the release of the iPhone 14 Pro Max in September of this year, several phones have been compared to Apple's current flagship phone. But as expected, most of them have failed to outperform due to the phone's superiority in several areas. In this video, we put the Google Pixel 7 Pro to the test to find out if it is better than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Let's get started. Storage and processor. The first area of our Google Pixel 7 Pro versus iPhone 14 Pro Max test is storage and processor. In terms of storage, both phones offer decent starting storage sizes, although the iPhone does have the edge with the provision of more options. Both phones do offer one 28GB RAM and two 56GB RAM.
Okay.
However, the iPhone Pro Max has 5 12GB and 1TB options.
Oh, wow!
This is undoubtedly a good option for those who have large storage needs. The disadvantages of the limited options on the Google Pixel 7 Pro is that users would have to rely on cloud storage because storage is not expandable. Google and Apple currently have their built-in processors, which help deliver exceptional performances. But the iPhone 14 Max takes the lead again. Apple's long existence in the market could be a factor here. Google's Tensor was only released a couple of years ago and is in the second generation, while Apple is currently running in the A16 Bionic, considered one of the best in the world. To put it into a better context, more performance tests reveal that the iPhone 14 Pro Max is far ahead of the Google Pixel 7 Pro. Regarding the Geekbench 5 single, the Google Pixel 7 Pro scored 1,047, while its competitor had 1,584. On the Geekbench 5 Multi, the Google phone scored 3,192, while the iPhone had 5,491. On the 3D Mark Extreme High, the Google Pixel scored 1,836, while the iPhone scored 3,382. On the 3D Mark Extreme Low, Google had 1,292, while Apple had 2,327. Another test area is the Adobe Premiere Rush test, which is used for video editing. The Google Pixel had a speed of 0 to 47, while the iPhone had a rate of 0 to 26. Clearly, in terms of storage and performance, the iPhone 14 Pro Max has a clear edge.
Oh, really?
Related to performance is that of battery life, an area where the Google Pixel comes no closer to the iPhone. More on that shortly. Before we move on to discuss other features, consider subscribing to this channel. Doing so will give you exclusive insights into our technology videos and updates. Camera. One of the key features users look out for when it comes to the Pro version of flagship phones is the camera. And both phones are good on this level. The Pixel 7 has a 50 megapixel main camera, a 48 megapixel 5x optical telephoto, and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera on the back. Regarding the selfie camera, the phone has an improved 10.8 megapixel camera on the front. On the other hand, the iPhone 14 Pro Max has a 48 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel 3x optical telephoto camera, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a 12 megapixel selfie camera. The specifications reveal how close the cameras are in terms of camera quality, although there might be subtle differences. Based on the technologies, some might perform better in certain situations than others. For example, while the 5x optical zoom on the Google Pro helps get quality shots from distances compared to the iPhone 14's Pro 3x zoom, the iPhone is undoubtedly better when it comes to shooting in portrait mode. This goes a long way to show that Google has made some improvements to its camera. The company announced that Pixel's newest powerful processor is custom built with Google AI and makes Pixel 7 Pro faster, more efficient, and more secure. Battery life and performance. The Google Pixel 7 Pro has a bigger battery of 5,000 mAh compared to the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which has a 4,323 mAh. This metric might give the impression that the Google Pixel 7 Pro is better than the iPhone, but that is realistically untrue.
I'll have to ask my...
Battery life and performance are far better on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. As an illustration, we will use a couple of tests from Tom's Guide and Phone Arena to back this assertion. According to Tom's Guide, the iPhone 14 Pro Max can last for about 13 hours and 39 minutes after a single charge, which means that it can take you through the whole day without recharging. On the other hand, the battery life of the Google Pro is about 8 hours, and while this can get you through the day depending on your schedule, it certainly does not come close to the iPhone.
Stop it. Get some help.
The test from Phone Arena also had credibility to these claims. Their tests show that Google Pixel can last for about 14 hours when web browsing, while the iPhone 14 Pro Max can last for about 19 hours when used for the same purpose. Regarding video streaming, Google can go for up to 9 hours and 39 minutes, while Apple can go up to 11 hours. Lastly, Google Pixel Pro can last for 4 hours of 3D gaming, while iPhone can last for 8 hours. While the iPhone defeats Google Pro in terms of battery life, it cannot compare in terms of fast charging.
That's what I'm talking about!
The iPhone offers 20-watt wired and 15-watt MagSafe wireless charging, while the Pixel 7 Pro charges up to 30-watt wired and 23-watt wireless. So on the face of it, it seems the Pixel charges a bit faster than the iPhone. The implication is that the latter can get you filled up early than the former. This is an easy win for the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and will be worth buying if the two are considered. However, if you want even more incredible features, you would have to wait for the new flagship phones of Apple and Samsung. For more details, watch our next video, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra versus iPhone 15 Pro. Not even close.